Good evening, everyone. Welcome to closing comments here for June 1st. Let's jump right into our charts and see we kicked off the new week. First up, got our August live cattle on the board. We did see a fairly uneventful day here in this cattle market. Prices just hanging steady here inside of Friday's range. We did see this August live contract trading on either side of 240 today. A lot of volume getting built up here late into the finish, but this market is kind of hanging steady here and consolidating. No major breaks in either direction, so we continue to wait this thing out, see how this market's going to unfold. If we get some continued bids above today's high at 241.40, we should see those bulls take another swing back up in the mid 240s. We still have some supply left up here, so it's not going to be an easy climb out of here. But bids above today's high and our bull pivot for the week should see this market try and march back up there through the 240s and get a rally attempt underway. This market continues to find support in the area. As long as the bulls can defend this 237 line, they should see this thing stay pretty sticky. But if we do get any sort of breakdowns here below 237, look for a pretty quick markdown here towards 230. We could see that volatility and that selling pressure pick up in the event of offers below this level. So just make sure we are ready to get defensive in the event of that. In the meantime, this market just seems pretty comfortable here around 240. Look for this price point to stick around. Next up, we got our August feeders on the board. This market just hanging out inside of Friday's range as well. We did open up near the lows of the day, pushing up towards 350, 375 at the high. This market just hanging steady. Not a whole lot to be said here. Price just seems pretty comfortable at 350. If we get continued offers below last week's low at 346.5, look for this thing to get marked down into the 340s, low 340s that is. And any sort of upside here, we should see some resistance as these declining averages are pushing down here on price from above. So wouldn't be surprised to see some pretty sticky action here in the area. Not expecting any real major breakdowns. We could see some volatility and some quick selling pressure down here below this area, but not expecting any major losses. In the meantime, look for this feeder market to just hang steady here between 350 and 360. Next up, we got our July corn futures on the board. Today we did see this market swinging both ways. This thing did see a brief probe down there below our bear pivot at 445, finishing just shy of that level today. So far here in the evening session, we continue to get a little bit of downside here. This market has been pretty extended from these range highs recently, but with these breakdowns below last week's low, those sellers could continue to drive this thing down here towards 430 to 435. This area has been a spot that has kept this market supported over the last year's time. We should see the buyers get active if we do push down here to these sub 440 levels. Look for that market or these buyers to try and push this thing back up. But down here below 450 to 485, the bears do have a chance to keep a downtrend going here. Look for that selling pressure to continue as long as we trade below 445. But this corn market has been pretty sticky in the area. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing snap back up here into the 450s. Next up, we did see this crude oil market bouncing off those range lows. We weren't able to get any sort of follow through below last week's lows, so this thing did snap back, seeing a good bounce off of these range lows so far. This market did see a pretty nice snap up there towards 95 bucks today, but kind of finishing back here off of the highs just a little bit. This market continues to face some headwinds. We got some lower highs, and this market continued to put some downward pressure here on this $85 to $90 range. This market has been supported in this area recently, but it looks like we're getting pretty heavy here, and we could see this thing start to continue to bleed down here into the $80 range. In the meantime, that little bounce today, if we do get continued bids above today's high, wouldn't be surprised to see this thing try and test 100 bucks again, but not really expecting any sort of sustainable up moves. We should see these sellers continue to put some selling pressure on this market and keep putting pressure down here on these range lows. Next up, equity markets continuing to trade up here into these highs. We did see new all-time highs getting traded once again across the board in our indexes. We did see a less than impressive finish here, though, today, as this market did kind of close off those highs. So far, we are continuing to get a little bit of selling pressure here in the evening session, down almost 1% already on the NASDAQ, 0.5% on the other indexes. If we do get any sort of offers below today's low, we could see this thing get a pullback underway. We have seen about 8, 9, 10 days in a row here of straight upside after that brief pullback that couldn't reach that 20-day average. This market just continues to cruise up here into these all-time highs. Not really expecting any major breakdowns, but pullbacks will be good buying opportunities. Continue to keep putting that money to work. This uptrend remains very strong, and we should see this upside continue here across these indexes. That's all we got for tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow.